All right, so again, all we're supposed to do is solve using augmented matrices. So let's start out writing the augmented matrix. 2 minus 3 minus 2 minus 4, 6, 7. All right, now there's nothing that says you cannot do more than one operation at one time. So I'm going to do two things. I'm going to first make this a 1, but then if I look, I see that if I just multiply this row by 2 and add it to this one, that becomes a 0. So I'm going to do two steps in one. So I'm going to first take 1/2 a row 1 and make that the new row 1. And then I'm going to take 2 times row 1 plus row 2, and that's going to be my new row 2. So I'm doing two steps in one. Now, so first I have half of that row. So that's going to be a 1 minus 3 halves. And then half of that's going to be a minus 1. Then 2 times this plus that, that's going to give us 0. 2 times this is going to be minus 6 plus 6 is going to be 0. 2 times this is going to be minus 4, so that's going to be a 3. All right, now if we remember from before, if we have 0 equals 3, that's a false statement. And so there's going to be no solution. So when it comes out with zeros on the left, number on the right, that means no solution. And you really can't check those, so you just have to hope you did all your work right on that one. All right, let's keep going because that was kind of short. Let's do this one. So again, we're going to write our augmented matrix. 2 minus 4 minus 2 minus 3, 6, 3. Okay. I think with this one, I'm just going to take 1/2 row 1 and make that my new row 1. Because if I want to add those two together, I'm going to have to multiply by like 3/2 or something like that, and I don't want to do that. I'm just going to just make that one a 1 first. So that's going to be a 1 minus 2, and then that's going to be a minus 1. Then I have a minus 3, a 6, and a 3. Now if I take 3 times row 1 plus row 2 and make that my new row 2, then I can make this to be a 0. So then I have a 1, a minus 2, minus 1, and then 3 times that plus that 0, 3 times that plus that is 0, 3 times that plus that is 0. Okay, well, now if we remember this one, when we have all zeros on the bottom and stuff up here, that means there's going to be an infinite solutions. Okay. And what we have to do is we have to set our first variable, set it equal to some other variable. So let's say if x2 is equal to t, because that's kind of what they use in the book, then x1 is equal to what? Well, it's going to be, this is x1, so we can write this out. X1 minus 2x2 equals a minus 1. So if I plug a t in here, that's going to be a minus 2t. So if I take it over here, that's going to be a plus 2t. So it'll be 2t minus 1. Okay. And so my solution set is going to be basically the set of all 2t minus 1 comma t. And what can t be? T can be any real number. Okay, so any real number here, and that's going to be kind of my solution set if I write it as a solution set. Otherwise, you could just write it. Sometimes they just want this piece, sometimes they want the whole thing. It all depends on what they want online as far as the solution set goes. So that would be kind of, one way to write it here. This would be just that part, and then the whole piece would look something like that. All right, let's stop there. We'll come back for some more.